Stupidest deaths in history. A joke taken too far. The funniest death was the ancient Greek philosopher Chrysippus. One day, whilst watching a donkey eat some figs, Chrysippus thought of a joke and he just couldn't keep it to himself. He told the joke, burst out laughing, and laughed so hard at his own joke that he eventually died. Death by dessert. Overindulgence is one of those historical rich people problems. In 1771, Swedish King Adolf Fredrik ate a massive meal, which wasn't unusual for him as he was known to be incredibly overweight. The meal included the king's favourite dessert, semla, a sweet roll filled with almond paste and topped with cream. King Adolf was so fond of semla, he couldn't stop demanding more, and after 14 servings, the king's love for food finally got the better of him and he died from overindulgence. A window of opportunity. Meet Gary Hoy, a lawyer who became famous for one of the most unfortunate demonstrations in history. Whilst trying to prove that a window was unbreakable, Gary threw himself against it. The window didn't break, but it did pop out of the frame and Gary ended up plunging to his death. Kicked his own ass. Another mad one, Sir Arthur Aston was an English royalist general during the Civil War. After surrendering to Cromwell's forces following the siege of Drogheda in 1649, Aston was beaten to death by his own wooden leg. Cromwell's soldiers were so convinced that the leg was filled with gold that they took it off and used it to beat him to death with it. So Aston quite literally kicked his own ass to death. Mind your step. The clumsiest death goes to Hans Steininger. Hans was famous for having the world's longest beard, which he would proudly boast about, growing it to 4 feet long. One day in 1567, Hans forgot to roll his beard up whilst walking and he tripped over his 4 foot long beard, breaking his neck. It turns out that the beard really was to die for. Never crush your heroes. In ancient Greece, politicians were the rock stars of their time. The most over-the-top death goes to Draco, the Athenian lawmaker. During a celebration, Draco's fans were so excited to see him that they decided to shower him with gifts. A common gift in Athens at the time was clothes. The crowd threw so many of these clothes at Draco that they literally smothered him to death. Talk about being killed by kindness. Killer performance. In 1687, Italian conductor Jean-Baptiste Lully gave a killer performance. On stage, Lully accidentally stabbed himself in the foot with his heavy conducting staff. Like a true professional, the show went on. Afterwards, instead of seeking proper treatment, Lully let his wound fester and eventually gangrene set in, leading to his eventual death. A dance of death. The award for the most graceful death goes to Basil the Blessed. Basil was a lovable holy fool in the 16th century Russia. Basil was known for his bizarre antics, such as public nudity, shouting at Tsar Ivan the Terrible, and the occasional act of kindness. In 1552, Basil was dancing uncontrollably on the streets of Moscow when he collapsed onto the floor. Witnesses say that Basil fell into a fit of uncontrollable laughter before dying. Thank you for watching the video. Please leave a like and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Have a good day.